What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Mystic Watch, and today we got a new video for you. We are going to be here talking about future banners on Grand Cross, but in particularly what could be the next banner that is coming out, because there are a couple of key units that we have around the corner that we're not exactly sure when they are going to be dropping, and this is mostly due to the fact that Global is not following the JP schedule one-to-one. And we already knew that to begin with, that it wouldn't follow JP because Global, as we know it, is catching up to JP at a very quick rate. For example, the amount of content story-wise we've gotten, this is week, we just passed month 1 of Grand Cross. Meanwhile, Gallon came out 2 months into the game, beyond 2 months into the game. So, we already know for a fact that JP and Global are catching up, meaning that the content cycle is completely different. It's not a surprise. We knew that was going to happen before the game even came out. However, we can still make educated guesses based on information that we know on what could be upcoming content or upcoming banners and kind of when they'll be dropping. I want to start off the video with a little bit of a disclaimer. Nothing I say in here is guaranteed to happen. I am not some guru. I don't have insight knowledge from Netmarble. I don't know what is coming out. I'm simply using the information available to me between the JP game, the global game, and data mined files to make an educated guess on what we could be getting. Right? That's the key word, could. Not 100%, could be getting. That's all I want to say. Just keep that in mind going into these videos, that everything here is just a big educated guess. And there's a lot of people that simply, they're like, oh, why are you making this video if you don't know? Because it's fun, right? It's fun to make these discussion videos to kind of guess or hypothesize? Is that the word? On what we could be getting in the future. So to start off, this week we got Gother and Gallon, right? And this is also the first banner that is here for 2 weeks. The previous 2 banners, 3 banners actually, Merlin, Red Merlin, then it was blue, I don't know colors, sorry. So it was first Red Merlin, then it was green Bond, and then green Merlin. Those 3 units all came out on their own individual banners. They came out for 1 week. This is the first banner, it is 2 units as well, that is here for 2 weeks long, meaning that the next big update tends to be when the banners recycle. Right, that's just how Grand Cross is. They don't really have overlapping banners. They do occasionally, every now and then, during events and anniversaries and celebrations. But typically, what Grand Cross likes to do is just drop banners that, once one banner ends, 2 weeks long, the next banner, the new event, the new content cycle, whatever it is, picks up from there. That's usually what they do. So based on that, the next big thing that we can expect, and I wouldn't even call it big, the next thing, the next update with a new character, most likely will be on the 14th, once this banner leaves, right? Logic dictates that so far. Now, what could be the options for those new characters? There are a couple of units that we are expecting, we don't know the order of them, but we are expecting them to come out in the near future. And there's 3 of them. Demon Meliodas, Red Fairy Helbram, right? So the same exact Helbram we have already in the game, but the red version, the super, oppressive Helbram that everyone keeps talking about. If you play JP, you know King Brum, that's what we're referring to. So this Helbram, but red. And then Escanor. If you guys have already finished this chapter 7, and you watch the preview ends with a clip of Escanor popping up. When JP came, let's actually switch over to my desktop, right? I'm here on sdsgc.gg, and I'm looking at the update schedule for JP. This gives us a little bit of insight as to what actually happened on JP. You can see here, this was about 2 months into the game. We got chapter 7, Crimson Raid, yada yada yada, all these things. But the main thing is, we don't have Crimson Raid right now. I'm expecting Crimson to come out next week, potentially, or the following week. But Chapter 7 came out with Gallant. Those were the main things I wanted to talk about here. The next chapter came out a whole month later, and that is what released Green Escanor, right? Now, the fact that the game is going at a faster rate, which we already know, means that most likely we are getting Chapter 8 not a month after Chapter 7, but realistically within 2 weeks. And the fact that Galland was dropped with Chapter 7, Escanor will most likely be dropped with Chapter 8, just because there are units that are tied to the story. There are certain units that have no relevance to the story and that are just dropped at random points, and Red Helbram is one of those, right? The chapter that he was associated with had nothing to do with when he was dropped. He was just dropped as a unit randomly. But Escanor, on the other hand, is a key unit to the story, right? He is a critical unit to Chapter 8. Not that you need him, it's just that his character is intertwined with Chapter 8. So we can expect Escanor, most likely, in 2 to 3 weeks, is what I'm guessing, right? And let me pull up my calendar. Let's move the taskbar here for a second. On a previous video that I made last month, yeah, pretty much like the second week of the game, I took a guess saying that Escanor would come out on this day right here, April 28th. That was just based on, mathematical guessing, that is the day I landed upon. However, there's a chance that he might come out on this day right here, the 21st. So currently I'm moving up my prediction for Escanor, that he is coming out on the 21st of April. That is where I stand on that for now. I believe Chapter 8 and Escanor will come out on that day. If they release it on the 14th, that is really moving fast. I don't want them to do that. I really don't want them to go too fast. I would like for them to catch up, and I like the pace they're currently going at, but I do not want them to speed it up further. Now, besides Red Helbram and Escanor, there's one more unit that we need to take a look at, and it is going to be Demon Meliodas. Demon Meliodas is the final coin shop unit we have yet to get, right? Demon Meliodas came out on JP on like week 4 of the game. Actually, I have the video up. So this is a video I made on... I made it on JP when Demon Meliodas like 1 week prior to him coming out. And this actually is a good thing to take a look at. It gives you an idea of how the JP coin shop looked like at that time compared to what it looks like now. We did not have coin shop units for 7 coins until like 2 to 3 months into the game. Originally what it was is we would have 1 coin shop unit discounted, we could buy 2 copies of them, and then the following week they would rotate out for the next coin shop unit. And this began on week 1. So originally we had, let's pull up the coin shop real quick. Originally we had King on week 1, 5 coins. Ban on week 2 for 5 coins. Then it was Gother week 3, Diane week 4, Demon Meliodas week 5, and Merlin week 6. And that was the content cycle, and then it reset back to King. You bought them the week they were out, and if you missed them, you missed them. You did not have the ability to buy them for 7 coins. On here, the difference is, we got them as banner units, which we did not on JP, but at this point we already had, like, Demon Meliodas. Like, Demon Meliodas would already have been out today on JP. Like, if we started fresh following that schedule. So we're following banners instead. The units are not coming out every single week like they did in JP, and then the schedule that they're following is also different. We got Merlin 3rd, right? Or 2nd, right? We got Ban and then Merlin, when Merlin was the last one to come out on JP as well. So everything like that is being thrown out the window. All that being said, the only one we are missing is Demon Meliodas. My prediction is, originally this banner was data mined in the game. Demon Meliodas and Gallon were supposed to come out. Now, I'm not going to say supposed to. This is just the banner they had, cooked up for us originally. None of this is, all of this is subject to change. None of this is 100% guaranteed to come out. Now, the fact that we got this instead gives me a prediction that we are going to get Demon Meliodas and Red Helbram on a banner. Originally, this is the banner that was planned with Red Helbram, and we got Merlin solo. We got On solo, we got Merlin solo, and we got Gowther and Gallon together. I think they're going to start moving towards double banners, so that's why I'm predicting that Red Helbram will come out with Demon Meliodas. And if that's the case, it is a pretty good banner to summon on. There is a smaller chance that does not happen, and what they do instead is they give us like Demon Meliodas and Escanor. And if they do Demon Meliodas and Escanor, my goodness, that is a banner. My prediction is in 2 weeks, once the Gowther banner leaves, we will get Demon Meliodas plus Red Helbram. On that week, we will get Crimson Demon as well. And then the following week, we will get Chapter 8 with Green Escanor. So that is the prediction I'm going with. If that ends up being true, you really only... it's weird. Crimson Demon relies on Demon Meliodas pretty heavily if you're doing Extreme. You can do the easier difficulties using whatever units you want. I know I mentioned this in a previous video where I said, without Demon Meliodas, Crimson Demon is impossible, and I shouldn't have said that, because you can beat any single raid with any single unit as long as you're doing the easiest difficulties. So keep that in mind. You do not need any unit to do anything. You can beat everything with free-to-play units completely through. That does not mean you'll be able to beat the hardest difficulties, but you'll be able to beat it. If you are doing Extreme, you need Demon Meliodas. That's it. There's really no other way around it. You can wait for him to enter the coin shop, or you can buy him, or you can try to summon for him. But keep in mind that if Escanor is not a coin shop unit. Escanor will come out. And if you do not pull for him, he is a god on PvP, still used to this day. The day he came out to today, he is never not being used at any given point in time. He's also really good in just PvE in general. He'll help you with the story a lot. So it's a weird balance we got going on here. Do you summon if it's Demon Meliodas plus Helbram, or do you wait for Escanor? Which one's more important? And that really comes down to what you value more. If you don't care about PvP as much, Demon Meliodas plus Helbram is the better summon, because Demon Meliodas for PvE and Helbram for both PvP and PvE, he is a great unit. So that's really all I'm going to talk about today in terms of my predictions for what is coming out in the future. So like I said, let's go back into the calendar and kind of show off. Can I like make this bigger? No, apparently not. Calendar. April 2020 calendar. Calendar. There we go. This is the day the banner leaves. Let's actually do it like this. Let's do it like this. Okay. So Gowther leaves this day, right? My prediction is that we get D Meli. That's Meliodas, okay? And we get Helbram on this day. That is very easy English to understand. You can see that my handwriting is very good. And then on this day, there's no... Wait, I want to change the color to green. I want to change the color to green. On this day, we get Escanor Sama Desu. Sama. We get Escanor Sama on this day. This could be wrong, but I believe that is the most likely current plan or path that Grand Cross has. The other thing they could do is give us Escanor Sama Desu on the 14th plus why did it do that? Back to red. Plus the MELIODAS Sun. That is my current prediction. That it's one of the two, but more likely it is MELIODAS plus Helbram, with the following week being Escanor. That is what I believe. There's also a small chance that we get MELIODAS on this day just by himself as a banner, and they have two banners running at the same time. I believe those are the three most likely scenarios. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little bit of theory crafting. If you guys have your own opinion, hypotheses, whatever, let me know down below. Because some things maybe just aren't obvious to me, and I might have missed something that is like a key clue as to what is going to happen. If you want to see more of these types of videos, even if you don't do anything with them, they're just quite entertaining, let me know. I have fun doing this stuff, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.